Hey guys, Starcrafter here. Today I am back for another episode of Anime vs. Reality. This is episode 181, would you believe it or not? The fact that I've done nearly 200 of these is wild. And yet somehow I'm probably gonna end up way past that into like 300. Just casually, just off what I've watched. But for today, we're back with Elfen Lied. We're finishing off Elfen Lied today. Is there any birthdays worthwhile noting before we start? No, there is not. What I mean by the whole birthday thing is I like to note anime characters' birthdays. It's an obsession of mine. But going into today, I am covering the last 4 episodes of Elfen Lied, and because it's Elfen Lied, I need to do my disclaimer for it. This anime, so this is the disclaimer. This anime has some very dark topics that I do try and make some light of. It includes themes of attempted R word, sodomy, seppuku, euthanasia. But I do not want those to be like. I don't want to take it seriously, but they are serious topics. I wrote the notes in a way to sort of address it in a light-hearted way. With that out of the way, let's get through the last few episodes of Elfen Lied. Starting off with episode 10. Lucy uses her vectors to push May over and mocks Nana with the fact she won the first time. So last episode, we got Lucy's backstory, and then the previous episode to that, Nana did blast Lucy into a wall. But way back in the cemetery, the first time that we see the cemetery, Lucy won the fight there. That's what she's referencing. Meanwhile, Kota accidentally cuts his finger cutting green onions and gets chastised by Yuka for his lack of skill. He did tell her he's no good at it though, but the fight outside is more important, which Kota hears. Lisa gets knocked down by Nana, but keeps mocking Nana, preparing her vectors to attack. Nana fires her arms in retaliation to use 2 of her vectors to attack Lucy, with May screaming for them to stop. In the process of returning to the kitchen to treat Kyoto's cut, Yuka notices New is not in bed. May's action to stop Lucy and Nana from fighting is to dive in the middle and hug Lucy, asking why they're fighting. The slash marks on her back indicating this really happened. Nana notes how close she came to hurting Mayu, but Lucy wants to continue fighting, which Nana agrees to. Mayu steps between them again to stop Lucy, and in the process triggers a memory in Lucy that returns her to her new personality. Mayu returns Nana's arms to her so as to not scare Kata and Yuka. Well, Nana doesn't sense Lucy anymore. Yeah, because this is like true split personality going on with Lucy / New. And there's something else. Kota and Yuka offer Nana rice porridge for dinner, with New devouring her food, surprising Nana. Earlier, May explained away Nana's attack on New, that she was not like herself. Oh, that she was like herself, homeless and hungry, which makes Nana cranky. Nana finally starts eating, shocking even you with how fast she's eating in 2 seconds. She's just like a vacuum. May comes down to say that Nana has no place to stay, asking if she can stay the night, and Kata says yes, only for Nana to shout no, because they see her as a bad guy. Kata brings up the valid point that Nana attacked New without warning, and New breaks up the fight by offering her bowl of food to Nana. He reminds New that she needs to eat too, so Yuka offers up her rice porridge to Nana, and Nana apologizes for her attack earlier. Director Kurama thinks about his chastising from Director General Kakuzawa and thinks back to when he met Professor Kakuzawa again as graduate students. Professor Kakuzawa offered Kurama a position at his father's research facility, which he turned down until he's lured in by the promise of seeing humanity's downfall. Because watching people die is always fun. At an apartment building, police surround the crime scene with officers approaching the apartment door. Inside, they find a little girl crying, saying the murderer is still inside. But the police find no one, because she's the murderer. The 2 remaining police inside killed the little Dioclonius, as Professor Kakuzawa's narration explains. She was born in Kanagawa. They tried to understand why she was born with horns, but the answer was not that simple. At the facility, Kurama lays witness to an experiment on a Dioclonius involving iron balls being fired upon her with increasing velocity. She gets hit by an iron ball going at only 300 joules of kinetic energy, which, for my math brain, based on the size and the weight of the iron balls, is approximately 0.273 meters per second. Yeah, I overanalyzed my content way too much. Professor Kakuzawa says that this Dioclonius should be getting stronger as she matures, but she seems to have plateaued, with him saying that more vector research needs to be done. In the office, Kurama seems down because he's annoyed he got tricked into working at the facility by Professor Kakuzawa. He defends their research because it's the only place this research is done for the sake of future generations. Kurama believes the research should be focused on whether the cloni were born, calling the experiments inhumane. Professor Kakuzawa says that the cloni are not human, their true nature kicking in around the 3rd year of its life. As soon as the Dioclonius develops their vectors, they turn into killers, not even hesitating in killing their own parents. He declares them an enemy of humanity, and Kurama gets up to leave when another worker, Omori, says there's something going on with number 3. Number 3 kills the officer and scientist that are there to feed her food by treating the officer's head like an iron ball to the scientist. Ooh, sweet karma. Kurama is quick to try securing number 3 in her room and tells Omori to go seal the other floors. Stepping outside the room, Omori is only penetrated in the forehead by number 3's vectors, so Kurama steps out to be face to face with number 3. She thanks Kurama, penetrating his forehead too, before she's taken out by Professor Kakuzawa, firing a tungsten bullet into her head, figuring she kept her real power hidden to make her escape easier. Smart girl. Clever girl. I butchered before. Kurama and Professor Kakuzawa later report to Director General Kakuzawa that the colonialist births are increasing. As action against that, and due to the facility's limited size, future colonialist births are to be killed upon birth, except for those with hereditary chromosomes under the guise of SIDS, or Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. Ugh. This is the euthanasia part. One such infant happens to be Omori's daughter, and doesn't want her to be euthanized. Professor Kakuzawa reminds of what happens to the colonists when they grow up, but Omori is devastated that it's his daughter that has to be euthanized. Turning to Kurama in hopes of saving his daughter, Kurama counters that it's just going to be harder when she eventually turns, that it's better to end it now. Director Kurama offers to do it so Omori can singularly blame him, and later on Kurama states he's already killed more than 10 and there's no need for anyone else to do it. It's like, this is my responsibility, essentially. I have to do this sort of stuff. Kisaragi's clumsiness when bringing coffee to Kurama and Professor Kakuzawa does lighten the mood slightly, while Kurama defends her position by saying she's a Todai's graduate. Kurama gets word from Kisaragi that his wife is in the hospital with cervical cancer, meaning emergency surgery had to be done, but the baby and his wife are stable. He sees his baby is a Diclonius, remembering what he said to Omori about his daughter. Without hearing a word from Kurama, his wife freaks out about what is clearly his need to kill their baby. His wife collapsed from massive blood loss from standing up suddenly, meaning she can't be disturbed. Seeing his daughter in the nursery, Kurama suddenly realizes why number 3 thanked him, moving to kill his daughter. As a last-ditch effort to save their daughter, his wife enters the nursery bleeding out, asking him not to kill their daughter, and promises to protect her, but his wife is gone. Okay, wow. She really wanted to have her kid still be alive. Results from a follow-up survey reveals that all fathers of Diclonius children had similar interactions to what Kurama had with number 3. This allows the facility to figure out that Dicloni factors transmit a virus. Kurama says he'll devote himself to researching the virus at the facility, even though it's Professor Kurama's specialty, but Director General Kakuzawa says they'll make the Kurama research director. Director General Kakuzawa is certain there has to be a Diclonius queen, the Diclonius that originally infected someone with the virus, out there somewhere, wanting Director Kurama to find her. When he questions him, Director General Kakuzawa angrily reminds him that he helped take care of Director Kurama's daughter, and won't accept disobedience. Presently, Director Kurama returns the picture to the desk, looking at one of Nana, hoping she can escape his, hoping she can escape his life, because he doesn't want Nana trapped in this facility. Speaking of Nana, she is currently getting crucified for burning money by the brethren of that money, but May wakes up from that nightmare. She wakes up from that nightmare. Mayo says breakfast is ready, which delights Nana, calling Mayo a genius because of the lack of food variety in the facility. Mayo apologizes to Kota and Yuka for adding another house guest, and Yuka is fine with that, but Kota is less sure. I love how we keep flip-flopping on who doesn't want more people in the house. Back at the facility, Shirakawa and another scientist go visit number 35 per Director General Kakuzawa's orders. However, number 35 is so dangerous due to her self-awareness that they had to restrain her, which Shirakawa didn't even know. She just didn't know about that. Number 35 is the only third generation Silipid they kept alive, and enough factors to recite the whole alphabet on. She's got 26 factors. My gosh. Moving into episode 11. The scientist explains that they have number 35 in such a big containment chamber because her vectors can reach up to 11 meters. She could kill Lucy, but she could also kill everyone she encounters just as easily with no way to control her. But if there is a way to control number 35, her foster parent, Saito, will know. Seemingly worried if she'll stand more than anything else due to indefinite confinement. Saito has been assigned to number 35 for the last 5 years, so she's confident that number 35 will listen to her. Shirakawa explains that even though number 35 is the ultimate Diaclonius, she's still a child that can't risk losing Saito. If number 35 doesn't listen to Saito, they have another explosive way to make her cooperate. One since her birth. The scientist is surprised about finding out about this right now, much like Shirakawa was when she learned about it from Director General Kakuzawa. He says it will teach Director Kurama a lesson, revealing that number 35 is Director Kurama's child. Opening the confinement unit, Saito tells number 35, named Mariko, to come out. Mariko stumbles out, head wrapped in bandages and feeding tube in her other end. I don't know why. Falling over from not being able to see. Saito unwraps Mariko's bandages as Shirakawa makes sure the guard is ready to self the explosives, just in case. The loving moment is ruined by Mariko knowing Saito is not her mother, and making her insides become outsides, using Saito's upper half to stop the use of the explosives from being triggered. Shirakawa is too stunned to move, and almost gets killed by Mariko when a bomb explodes in her right arm, triggered by a somehow alive Saito. Impressive, strength right there. Literally ripped in half and still able to trigger an explosive. That is actually wild to think about. Guards rush in to secure Mariko while she's in pain because she can't use them if she's in pain. Shirakawa regains her confidence to tell Mariko that disobeying will result in more pain. Pain, pain, pain. Mariko's misery is cut off by Nana's enjoyment of ice cream, even through the brain freeze she gets. Inside, Kata gets annoyed that New is dismantling the grandfather clock, but she's absolutely excited to be doing so. Leaving May to help New with reassembling the clock, Kata has a private word with Nana about her relationship to New. Kata tells Nana she can stay, but not to impose by helping with some of the chores. Obviously, you have to do some chores if you're going to live in a house. Getting the grandfather clock back upright, New and May wonder if it will work when the inside falls apart. May hears Nana crying because she thought she was being kicked out, and Yuka asks May to show Nana how to do some of the basic chores. Late that night, Nana enjoys a proper bath with May, which is nothing like the water hose spray she used to get. All I can think of is Silence of the Lambs. It rubs the lotion on the skin, otherwise it gets the hose again. The two talk about New / Lucy, how they both want New to stick around, but Nana has to be ready to fight Lucy at any moment. Meanwhile, the two policemen talk to the crepe vendor Nana spoke to, who confirms he spoke to her, all organized by the facility. Shirakawa explains she has taken over all matters related to Mariko, saying that she's more responsive after learning about the explosives. She goes to report to Director Kurama, only to learn he's left the facility after punching his framed picture of him and his wife. Not getting a moment to process why he left, Shirakawa is alerted that Mariko's transport is ready. Professor Kakuzawa's research partner has been put in a small room, told to find Kota's picture, being denied showers until she does. Sticky! On the mainland beach, Director Kurama finds Bando cleaning up the beach and offers to fix his broken hand in return for killing the incoming Decolonius. Back at Maple Inn, Nana wants to do Wanta's feeding duty, which she still needs to learn from Mai, but Kota is fine with that. It's like the bare minimum. Nana sees Kanane's picture and asks about her, leading Kota to note something terrible happened to him right before she died. New jumps up and tells Kota not to cry, crying herself, remembering back when Kota was a kid. She suddenly starts running with scissors and somehow loses Kyoto when he chases her. And getting outside with it looking like she doesn't know how to use scissors safely. Yeah. However, when Kyoto finds New outside, she's done a rough replica of Kanane's haircut, claiming to be Kanane, forgiving Kyoto and not wanting him to be sad. Kyoto assumes this is about the seashell New broke when she first arrived, but for New, it's actually the memory of Kyoto's tearful and blood-covered face. He hugs New, saying it feels like she's known her for longer than he remembers, and that he likes her, which Yuka sees running away. While on Mariko's transport helicopter, Shirakawa tries to call Director Kurama, getting no answer. New is still trying to fix the grandfather clock, and Nana overfills Wanta's bowl to May's amusement. Nana overfills the bowl. Along with not knowing what a dog is, Nana suddenly senses Mariko up in the helicopter, knowing she's coming to kill her, sensing her incredibly evil aura. At the same time, Professor Kakuzawa's research partner finds Kyoto's picture by complete accident and recognizes him. Mai tries calming Nana when Kyoto comes in asking where Yuka is, explaining she went to get some salmon noodles, thinking Nana might like it like him and Yuka do. Nana gets up and says she's going for a walk but plans to leave Maple Inn for a while because of Mariko. Meanwhile, during a sad walk, Yuka notes how happy Kyoto looked with new and stumbles upon a police barricade in the process. The massive barricade and police presence is all for Mariko's arrival, with Shirakawa wheeling her out on a wheelchair because of how weak her legs are. Shirakawa explains to Mariko that if she doesn't input a code every 30 minutes, Mariko will explode. The same if she does anything unexpected. Mariko surprises both Shirakawa and the scientist by saying this is going to be fun. Kyoto questions Mario on why Nana just up and left, but she doesn't know the details, and that Nana said someone was coming to kill her. She thinks that might be why Nana left, to keep them safe from the dangerous Diclonius. Kyoto prepares to go search for Nana, telling Mario to stay behind, and says Nana is part of their family as New joins him against his wishes. Yuka gets home later to Mario, still waiting for Kyoto and New's return. Down on the beach, Director Kurama fixes Bando's arm while Kyoto and New see a TV report claiming the police are running a special forces on-site training on Ino Island. Nana is currently there, surprising Shirakawa and the scientists, ready to fight Mariko, surprised herself by how young Mariko looks. She thinks she could get the first hit on Mariko using her artificial limbs, only to discover about Mariko's range and high vector count before being stripped of her clothes and artificial limbs. Poor Nana, she always gets that treatment. She always gets the nude and stripped treatment. Let's take that whole thing into episode 12. As Mariko plays with Nana's body like a toy, tossing her in the air and letting her fall hard to the road. The scientists and Shirakawa are disgusted by the display, just wanting to kill Nana, but Mariko wants her fun before she kills Nana. Nana tries reassembling her body, but doesn't know where her leg is before taking flight again with Mariko's vectors and being dropped again. This time though, Nana stops moving, which annoys Mariko, dragging Nana towards her as Shirakawa compares Mariko to a child that abuses insects. Yeah, she's the ant bully. Bando and Director Kurama approach the bridge using a speedboat, while Kyoto and New find the police at the barricade knocked out. New trips over one of the police officers as Kyoto races off to find Nana. Shirakawa tells Mariko to stop messing around with Nana's body, to which she agrees when Kyoto arrives on the scene, shocking everyone. Like, why are you here, you fool? You idiot. He's confused about what's going on and Nana asks why he came, all while she's able to pull her leg back on. Nana pushes Kyoto, saying to leave him out of it, continuing her approach towards Mariko. The scientist wants Mariko to kill Nana so they can leave after learning the police barricade was taken out. Shirakawa approaches Kyoto to talk to him about his relationship with Nana. Mariko attacks Kyoto and Nana dies out of the way while attacking Kyoto to the side too, accidentally hitting his head on the bridge railing. Mariko continues her attack, pushing Nana onto the bridge railing and moving closer to strangle her with her vectors, angry that Nana has friends. But Nana has gotten used to the pain, pushing through it to disable Mariko's vectors with her own and falling into the ocean. New shows up to the situation now, but the assault team sees her as Lucy. Shirakawa runs to Kyota to try restraining him from reaching New, as the scientist wants Mariko to kill Lucy, but she says that Lucy is not Lucy. Mariko discovers her vectors are not working, and Kyota breaks free of Shirakawa, grabbing New and telling her to run. Shirakawa tells them not to shoot at Kyota and New, but the scientist orders them to do so, even if Shirakawa stays in the way. Back at Maple Inn, Kyota talks about how she doesn't understand Kyoto's obsession with protecting Nana and New, because he has nothing to do with them. Mayu says that she might be the same way, wanting to help those that can't help themselves. She thinks Kyota doesn't even need a reason to help others, though the reason he does has something related to Kanade in some way. Yuka brings up the incident involving Kanade unprompted before acting like it's nothing to Mayu. Why did I butcher that so hard? Mayu states that she sees Maple Inn as her home, that Nana and New are her sisters, and that Yuka and Kyota are her parents. All the bullets fired upon Kyota and New are stopped by Lucy as Shirakawa realizes she was able to hide thanks to her split personality. Shirakawa approaches Kyota again, explaining that New is not the girl he knows, only to be split in two through the waist by Lucy. Kyota freaks out at the sight of her death, remembering seeing young Lucy on a train and calling him a liar. Lucy moves towards the soldiers, but instead jumps bridges, seemingly to protect Kyota from the gunfire. She jumps back to the soldiers, landing in the middle of them, taking joy and ease in killing them. Kyota finally pieces it together, remembering the night at the festival, starting from when Kyota watched Yuka fail at the Katanuki game. Following that, Yuka and Kyota walked around the festival until they heard screaming and saw people running. Kyota's father asks where Kanade is, saying they have to find her when Kyota says she's missing. Kanade comes out of hiding, trying to explain what she saw, unable to explain, well, exploding bodies, essentially. So Kyota's father decides they have to leave tonight. Yuka wants Kyota to return next year, which he says he will, and Kanade kicks her out of jealousy. He's my brother, not yours. Kyota takes one last moment before boarding the train to look around for Lucy, but doesn't see her. On the train, Kyota asks Kanade what's her problem, and she calls him an idiot, wishing Lucy killed him too. They argue about how real her story is, Kyota thinking she's lying, and Kanade runs up the train in anger. Sibling stuff. Lucy reveals herself to Kanade and Kyota, with both of them having very different reactions to her presence on the train. She calls Kyota a liar, with him remembering her asking about his cousin and how he lied about that, along with other memories of their times together as kids. All this leads back around to Lucy's request to Kyota to kill her if she gets too murdery, which is on full display in present time as she kills all the soldiers. Lucy suddenly starts humming Lilium, making Kyota remember when he bought the music box at a gift shop in Kamakura. Yuka and Kanade tease him for liking something that's not happy, but he's buying it, and how it played a pivotal role in meeting Lucy for the first time. More of the same memories replayed, this time with Kyota's perspective now that he remembers what happened. Kanade stops Lucy's initial attack by pushing her over and tells Kyoto to run, only for him to slap her and tell her to apologize to Lucy. It's like, yeah, because he is clueless to what Lucy is. Since they don't run, Lucy cuts Kanade in half, like what New does to the seashell at the start of the anime. The arguing being the last thing Kanade and Kyoto ever did together. Kyoto starts screaming, making his dad come over, only for Lucy to pop his dad's head off like a cork, landing at Kyoto's feet. He asks Lucy why she killed his family since they were friends, but she left him alive because they're friends. She says she only has Yuka left to kill, so Kyoto tackles Lucy down and yells at her to stop what she's doing, shaking her. If only he killed her that day. Currently, Kyoto states that he remembers what happened to his family as the scientist crawls away from the situation, saying Lucy ruined his life 8 years ago. He wants to know who Lucy is and what is going on, countering Lucy's claim that it's not his business with the murder of his family by her. Like, excuse me? Lucy kicks Kyoto off her and outruns Bando's bullets before jumping bridges again to run past Kyoto, keeping him from the gunfire and telling him to wait for her. And so we arrive at the final episode. We're almost finished with this story. We're past all the really traumatic stuff, at least. So let's get into episode 13. Although there is one last thing that's going to happen in episode 13 that is rather traumatic for a certain character. Director Kurama rescued Nana from the ocean after dropping Bando off, thinking about what would have happened if he arrived late. He's upset Nana didn't move far away, with Nana unable to explain what has been going on recently. Meanwhile, once again, Lucy defeats Bando, taunting him and saying this is the last time he'll see her. Oh, yeah, because she blinds him. Back at Maple Inn, Mario worries that something happened to Kyoto, Nana, and New, but for some reason, Yuka decides to tell Mario that Kyoto's family was murdered in front of him. Kyoto was hospitalized for a whole year, which eventually led to his whole delusion about Kanade and his dad. Piecing it together with what Mario said earlier, Yuka figures that his reason why he's kind to girls is because he wasn't able to save Kanade back then. She gets annoyed with herself for being so cruel to Kyoto, and Mario asks if Yuka likes him, which she agrees with silently. At a secret safe house, the scientist calls Director General Kakuzawa to let him know Shirakawa was killed by Lucy, and that Mariko can't use her vectors anymore. He doesn't know why Lucy came to them, and with Mariko disabled, declares the mission a failure. However, Director General Kakuzawa says that Mariko can still be useful to them before hanging up. The scientist accidentally reveals to Mariko that she's Director Kurama's daughter, thinking she's sleeping. Outside the room, he orders the soldiers to shoot without hesitation, no matter what. Down on the beach, Nana says that Mariko is up the cliff, asking Director Kurama why she's so important to kill. To which he answers that she's his real daughter. Nana then senses Lucy entering the vicinity of her Diclonius sense, along with Lucy and Mariko sensing each other. The scientist returns to Mariko attacking the soldiers, able to move freely thanks to the return of her vectors and her wheelchair. Lucy makes her way towards Mariko as a soldier confirms with the scientists that reinforcements will arrive in 30 minutes. The scientist wants to hide and let the monsters fire amongst themselves and use the bomb to blow them up. At the top of the mountain, Lucy and Mariko confront each other, where Lucy confirms she was Mariko's target all along. Lucy doesn't want to involve anyone else in their fight, which Mariko kicks off without hesitation, shocking Lucy with her reach and factor count. Mariko moves closer to search for Lucy, flying to areas she wouldn't be able to move to with her wheelchair. Lucy gets a drop on Mariko, pushing her out of her wheelchair, promising to end Mariko's suffering quickly. However, Mariko says that no one will kill her, even if Lucy is the queen, slamming Lucy into a railing using her vectors, eventually breaking off one of Lucy's horns and collapsing the roof on her. The scientist sees that Mariko won the fight, saying his team will be safe when Director Kurama and Nana shows up, with the scientist confirming that he's her father. Mariko tries walking over to her father despite her weak legs, only to collapse under her weight, but still happy to see him. Director Kurama aims his gun at Mariko through his tears, with Mariko pleading for him to not to shoot her. He says he has killed many others, the colonists' children, but not her out of hypocrisy, that he's the only one to blame, leaving Mariko to ask why she had to suffer. Nana tries to convince Director Kurama they have to go, making Mariko jealous when she calls him Papa. Mariko attacks Nana, strangling and pummeling her against a railing, wanting to see if her dad will grieve for Nana more than her. In response, Director Kurama drops his gun and approaches Mariko to hug her, and says he never stopped thinking about her. He promises they'll be together from now on, asking the scientists to use the bombs to kill them both, and telling Nana to live a happy life. The remaining soldier with the scientist is suddenly killed without Nana or the scientist realizing. Scientist is forced to follow Director Kurama's order or face being killed himself. Reaching the bridge, Director Kurama tells Mariko that her mother loved her and to her last breath, and that he always loved her. Pulling her in close for a hug as the two explode. Nana collapses in tears after the death of Director Kurama. When the scientist drops the phone remote and pulls a gun on Nana, only to get decapitated by Lucy, calling humans fools. She tells Nana to go live with Kyoto and Yuka, wanting her to do what she can't, live a normal life. Which is still going to be pretty tricky with the horns. The horn thing still going on. Hello. I'm doing my podcast at the moment. I'm actually just about finished. At the facility, Professor Kakuzawa's research partner hides Kyoto's identity from Director General Kakuzawa, as he talks about mobilizing the entire SAT team to go after Lucy, even if it's just her head they retrieve. Out of nowhere, Director General Kakuzawa reveals he has the same horns as his late son, and says I'm just about finished, actually. Out of nowhere, Director General Kakuzawa reveals he has the same horns as his late son, and says the project has only begun. Lucy finds Kyoto at the stone steps, dismissing his concerns about her injury, where she confirms that she was the child he played with when they were kids, as well as new. She explains she was born to kill humans, that in 5 years she could turn the next generation of kids into Diclonius, but she couldn't do it because it means Kyoto, her only hope in life, would be dead. All she did, all the obstacles she overcame, was just for a chance to apologize to Kyoto for what she did 8 years ago. She tries to leave, but Kyoto hugs her and begs her to stay, despite knowing he can't forgive her for the murder of his family. Kyoto knows if he lets her go, she'll end up killing others and he'll regret that choice forever, saying he likes New and that childhood friend he had in her. Lucy kisses Kyoto with a deep passion that brings up all their childhood past, saying she wants to repress what she did and continue to live with Kyoto. With one last embrace, Lucy cries and leaves Kyoto for the last time. Nana arrives home to Maple Inn as Lucy faces off against the entire SAT team. They open fire on Lucy as she attacks with her vectors, losing her other horn during the fight. Sometime later, Wanta sleeps outside Maple Inn as Yuka gets angry at Kyoto's laziness for not cleaning. While cleaning, he finds the shell New found as a replacement for the one she broke, but tells Yuka it's nothing. Mayu compliments Nana's cooking skills while also teasing her that the sausages are not burnt this time. Yuka sets an extra bowl to honor New's memory, telling Kyoto she would have wanted to eat too. The four sit down for lunch, with Nana really enjoying the salmon noodles, reminding Yuka that she didn't make it for Nana last time. Nana is saddened that Mariko or Lucy couldn't be there to enjoy the meal as well. Wanta suddenly starts barking outside, making everyone think they have a visitor. And there is a silhouette of someone by the other wall of the property. No, I am actually Australian. I really should put that in the tags. Kyoto almost greets the visitor when the music box stops playing and the grandfather clock starts working, distracting him from the visitor. And that's actually how this story ends. Like, we don't learn who the visitor is. People think it might be Lucy. I personally think it's Lucy as well. Sorry, that whole thing with Director Kramer and Mariko got me upset. Yeah. But yeah, that's Elfen Life. Amazing how something so dark can still make me cry. For YouTube, links will be in the... Oh, actually no, I should talk about a bit more about Elfen Life. This anime is amazing. Not one I would definitely recommend to someone unless you're really into like dark content. Because again, this has stuff that's like attempted R-word, sodomy, seppuku attempts, or one seppuku attempt, and like just a lot of murder. But murder's like on the low end of the list. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that I missed. So yeah, this is quite a serious anime. Like, you rarely get an anime that just goes balls to the wall right out of the gate with death and then just makes it like the most casual part of the show. Anyways, for YouTube, I'm going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to both the channels and the Twitch for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know next video comes out. A ding, Psycrafter out.